greenwashing happens with food all the time. I mean, it's like Chick-fil-A. People think, oh, it's the better.
It's Jesus chicken
option. It's Jesus chicken. Closed on Sundays. How bad could it hurt me? Say a prayer.
Right? And that was Cara Clark Nutrition, a friend, but also like, what an incredible guest.
That was one of the most interesting hours.
I know.
Just if you want to take a broad approach to overall health and wellness and her take on it, that was so fascinating because you could go in so many different directions. Everything that came out of her mouth, I was like,
yeah.
And
she's so knowledgeable.
And about halfway through, she finally realizes that we have powdered donuts on there, which anyway,
I didn't realize.
Another great podcast and so much fun. We're getting more subscribers. If people are liking and subscribing, and that's kind of cool. The number's kind of low, but the overall views are up there.
Yeah, they are. So thank you so much. I want to say one more thing about Cara. I feel like she's like that type of person at parties where all of a sudden you start talking to her and everyone just starts peppering her with questions. Like she is constantly
Absolutely.
being asked questions.
It's
because
like a
she's
doctor being out of the office there.
Yeah.
It's terrific. And by the way, Stephanie over at Simon Says the response from our viewers and listeners has been outstanding. So she's going to keep supplying the clothes. I can't remember the brand on this. You remember? Come on, read it.
Oh my gosh. What is Mavi?
Okay, it's Mavi pants and shirts. It's not too hard to remember. I just don't have. So for a guy who can't remember fashion, can't remember style,
it's okay.
It's down in Wedgwood, Houston. Simon Says it's on the corner of the Standard Assembly building, a ground floor. You can't miss it, and they're also friendly. Just ask for Stephanie or anyone there and tell them we sent you. But
I love it.
Yeah, good deal.
Hope you like this podcast with Cara Clark. Cara Clark Nutrition on Instagram. Her book is The Feel Good Way, and she's just incredible.
She is. Enjoy. So, do you want to jump in?
Well, I was just going to say, are you a type B mom too?
I'm a type B mom.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll move the microphone a little bit closer to you, if you don't mind. I want it to get the full effect.
I couldn't do what I do if I wasn't.
Okay, because
I hire type A people.
You hire. Okay, I love this.
Yes.
So you can stay true to yourself, be your creative self.
The creative visionary type is always going to be a type B mom.
Yes. Because that's me. Yeah. I'm a type B mom.
Because you can roll with things.
I can roll with things, yes. Yeah. But I fear I don't ever get anything done. But you've gotten a lot done.
Yeah. I go day by day.
Start by telling me what is a type B mom?
Yeah, I think it varies. I think it gives you the flexibility to be who you want to be, whereas a type A mom is very structured. I don't want to say rigid because that's not really a kind word, but like they do the same things on the same days at the same times. And that would literally put me over the edge.
Okay. I mean, I like a little structure.
I like a little structure. I know what 5 hours of my days variably look like, but
I think with 4 kids, you're more like a referee. I'm not sure you can. How do you get structured with 4 kids?
My husband would love if they would just hit each other instead of yell so much. So I wish I was more of a referee. I'm definitely like a therapist, especially with teenage girls. Yeah. It's always, you have to be emotionally available. So I feel like more than physically needy, they're emotionally needy, and not in a bad way, but it is like reffing. It's like, I just bought the best thing ever. I bought fabric tags where I can write their names on things because now they have the same clothes, like actual same clothes.
Yes, like your animals, right? Yeah. You used to be able to match giraffe, and I can match that. I can wear that.
Yes, so
they're getting into fights over those clothes.
Like that's mine. She has mine. She stained my shirt. Whatever. You guys are getting name tags.
Genius.
Yeah,
that's not type B mom energy. That's type A.
Well, but I didn't customize them. I ordered the marker and the plain ones.
Well, I think that's very interesting because everything you do, it's not rigid. It's you have to fit into your lifestyle, and you do this in practice and in theory as well.
I call my philosophy like Waze. Okay, because Waze GPS, it's going to change.
Yeah,
you might get 5 miles away from your destination. It's going to take you another route.
Yep.
And that's how it is. Like understanding your own body is constantly rerouting. And I'm the biggest advocate ever. Before it was ever a thing, intuitive eating, intuitive living. Women, we were talking about this before we hit record, but you shouldn't do the same workout every day of the month if you're still having a monthly cycle. And part of that is being intuitive with yourself. So yeah, now I have, four other girls in my house that I have to be the intuitive one for until they learn it themselves. Right.
But what a valuable thing for you to be able to teach them to be intuitive about that and to model that behavior.
Yeah, it's been fun because they learn fast. They understand energy, like they understand all of that stuff. We talk about how with the food choices we make and whatnot, it's the long game. It's not the short game because, going through skin issues as a teenager, right?
Yeah.
We could put a Band-Aid on that. We could totally get it to go away, but that doesn't fix what's going on in your body, right? And so if we deal with it, the longer game is going to be a big payoff, a big reward. And now at 40, my long game is like being a very strong and with it grandparent. That's what I think about on a daily basis. Yeah. Like I'm working towards 60 now, you know?
Yeah, you're breaking chunks. But, it's so interesting. We control everything our kids do when they're in the house. What they eat, how they behave, how they exercise.
We try
But then we send them off into the real world. And at school, it's like you can't prevent that. The snack machines are there. Their friends are like little drug dealers. Like, here, you want a chip?
So true.
Right?
And now the schools have these little like markets. Even public high schools have markets or like cafes where they can go buy whatever they want. So you're absolutely right. And when I pull that stuff out of their lunchbox, I shared with everybody, I promise. But yeah, you have to teach them, like they want to feel a certain way. And a lot of teenagers are really into something, whether it's sports or academics or these days, like media, like they're very focused, more focused than we were as teenagers. We were like partying and like thinking about social. They're a focused generation. And so when you remind them that they feel a certain way when they do a certain thing or they feel that way and then they tell you about it, it's pretty big reward.
So you're able to call that out to them and they can recognize, oh, I felt this way when I did this. Like that resonates with them.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Okay. Because I said so didn't apparently work with my girls. It's very interesting you say it. It's like educating them, teaching them about what's happening inside. Yeah. They get that.
Yeah. No, that's a really good lesson and something I need to work on now. I mean, I notice Andy's behavior. I mean, you saw I just gave her goldfish because she's here right now and I don't have childcare. Right. And I want her to sit there and, behave while we're able to do this.
Goldfish and iPad.
Goldfish and iPad. And I know that's not a healthy combination, but.
Well, nobody's perfect. My kids now go to Kroger by themselves and they get goldfish. Yeah. So tell it to their dentist because at least goldfish don't have artificial colors. And I'm not saying that we should buy goldfish, but they're not as bad as they could be.
Yeah.
Well, you are good about, at least in everything that I've seen that you do, you are good about moderation. Like I believe in dessert. I believe in indulging. I believe in doing all these things and not restricting. Talk about your philosophy as a whole.
Yeah, I do believe in all that. And I do think that's intuitive. And I do think the conversation for women at least goes back to like where you are in your cycle. And our body tells us a lot. Our body's always giving us messages. And most of the time we're turning them off, whether it's through medication or distraction or food or whatever, we're turning the messages off. But like, for instance, last night I made a dessert for my cookbook and it's just a berry. Well, I did the cobbler, but I did it with berries and I could not get enough of it. And I don't like always want dessert, but I'm like, this is nutrient dense. It's got 4 colors in it. It's antioxidants. And, that same message goes to my kids. Like we can have treats, but we need to make sure that they're still satisfying the needs of our body. On the other hand, I took them to Dairy Queen the other day because for no reason. It's summer, it's okay to indulge and not worry. I don't want them to be worried about indulging. I don't want them to be worried about, I did tell them that some southern states passed a law to put on candy artificial colors, that it's not intended for human consumption. I did tell them that. So like when they are getting ice cream, they're not getting artificial colors.
Right.
So there's certain things that we still avoid no matter what.
I love that. Mm-hmm. You still to hear that you still take your kids to Dairy Queen. So reassuring that like
did that settle your nervous system?
Yes, that we're still doing. I mean, that we're still doing okay.
Yeah,
we can always do better.
We can, right? Oh, of course, but that's the fun in life.
Yeah,
is that you can always do better.
But
and when we're in a competitive part of the season or whatever, we're a little bit more strict. Or, when me and you have something coming up and we have an outfit we want to fit in, we're a little bit more strict. Sure. We're mindful of that. Now you are.
Now I am as well because I have to explain what I'm wearing every time. Yeah. I'm curious that we live in a world where we go in the grocery store and it's almost outright lies on the packaging right there. And it says all natural, healthy, low with this, low that, and good for you and healthy. And that's not true. Right. And how do we exist in this world and actually follow what you like to do?
There's so much greenwashing, and that's what it's called, is when they mark one thing on the label to make you think that the whole label's good, to not look at the back. And that actually happened to my kids this summer. So we have a lake house in Michigan. There's not a lot of like grocery store options. And generally I do grocery orders anyways, if I'm being honest, but they did get Italian ice and my daughter picked it out and it said no artificial flavor, right? So she got greenwashed. We bring it home. My 9-year-old looks at it because she's the one who's the most diligent with that. And she's like, no artificial flavor, but it has artificial colors. Wow. So obviously, like, that wasn't something we were going to consume in our house. Ironically,
the 9-year-old
they invited their cousins over and were like, do you guys want these? Because we can't.
The Clark kids at school, they're a blast, right? Yeah. They're like,
really good time.
They give away food.
Really good time.
They give away food all the time. Wait, your 9-year-old called that out.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she is very diligent.
That's impressive.
She's always like, am I allowed to tell my friends this or not? Like, because she learns from everybody older in her house. She's always around older people. So she's very careful about what she shares with her friends, but not careful about what she says in the house.
That's good. So how do we avoid greenwashing? What do we do?
You just have to turn it over and actually look at it, because the greenwashing is what it's putting out on the front as their marketing scheme. Right. And they can get away with so much because obviously our standard is really low with food in grocery stores. Right. Obviously your best bet is going to grocery stores that don't even have certain things. Yep. But even with oils, like if somebody's in a healing phase, we want to be really careful with high omega-6, right? So we want to be really careful with seed oils. Do I say seed oil free everything? No, because I have 4 kids and I'm like, I don't have $1 million to spend from Thrive Market every month. And so like, again, the more you have to heal, the more you're in a stage that your body's not feeling good, the more you have to hone in on very specific aspects of health. The more you're just maintaining, I feel like the more lenient and lifestyle approach you can be.
It's interesting because your philosophy is that women aren't little men, and every single person has to have a tailored routine for them. Yeah. And that is fascinating to me because we all think that we can just do one trend. Yes. And we'll just do that cold plunge. We'll just do that fiber diet, fiber over vibration or whatever they call it. Yes. And our problems are solved, but that's just not true.
Right. So the high protein, the cold plunges, intermittent fasting even. These were all kind of designed more for men. Yeah. Certain body types of women can do cold plunging, by the way.
Wait, should I be doing them?
Probably not. And most people that have like high anxiety or issues with nervous system regulation, cold plunge isn't your best bet. It's not your best bet.
If your cortisol's already high, don't jump into a puddle of
Same with
water.
Intermittent fasting. So if you already deal with cortisol issues, you want to eat within the hour of waking up so that your body is stimulated with energy from food and not from your adrenals. So if you're not producing or putting food into your body is going to take from cortisol to fulfill the energy need. Whereas men get testosterone hits every single morning by nature. So they don't necessarily need food every single morning. Us women are little delicate snowflakes. We change every day.
Finely tuned machines, we call it, okay?
We change every single day. It's really fun.
My mind is blown right now.
Yeah.
My husband wakes up every morning and doesn't need to eat till noon. I wake up every morning. I'm like, I have to eat or I'm nauseous. And I've been cold plunging. And now I'm like, wait, should I maybe not? Because I do have high anxiety.
Okay. So how do you feel after your cold plunge?
I feel starving.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just my metabolism
depleting.
Kicking out.
I would love for somebody to feel energized and less inflamed after a cold plunge.
I do feel energized.
Okay. And I would say body type wise, like I always go to the dosha body type, which is 3 different body types. And it's really interesting to see some of the aspects of it are tridosha. So every body type can do certain things. And the cold plunge is the one that's not tridosha. It's better for a pitta or a kapha. So pittas are super muscular. Their element's fire. This is, by the way, not new age. It's just, ancient medicine. Right. Kapha is just like I don't want to say heavier, but a thicker body set. Mm-hmm. So it can be super anti-inflammatory. Right. Yeah, pretty curvy. It could be super anti-inflammatory. But for women that are struggling with anxiety, which I hate to say is most moms, because there's just always something, a cold plunge isn't like your best option. Wow. Whereas some other tools maybe, like an infrared sauna or red light therapy, or even a lymphatic plate that can help regulate the nervous system. I saw you post about that. Yeah, and people think like, oh, I'm going to do everything I do is for weight loss, right? But like, if you regulate your nervous system, if you regulate your blood sugar, the weight loss will come.
Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, it's not, I mean, obviously if you're posting something on social media, you're going to use keywords, but I use it for nervous system regulation.
Tell Neil what that is. Have you seen this?
The lymphatic
plates. Plate that it vibrates and you.
Oh no, I've seen it. I saw a video of that. It was really awkward at first to watch. Then I got it right. You're you're really kind of
booty shaking because it really does. That would be awkward.
I wouldn't have watched that. Okay, please. You've been doing this for 17 years, and I feel like this space, but I feel like more people are starting to look at that preventative way to eat and exercise to prevent things before they go wrong in your life. Is that me or is that my social media algorithm?
I know it could be a little bit of both, right? And it's probably similar for my algorithm too.
Because I love talking about red lights and I love talking about all this stuff. It's like, that's what we do.
Anyway, anytime you're getting into like a more suburban like culture, people are choosing wellness. There's more wellness trends going on, I feel like, than ever. Also, the huge aspect of this, and this is what I always tell people too, because I'm not just selling things. I will never post something that I don't use on my own and haven't for a long time. These things are finally accessible. So when I post a PEMF mat that's $1,200 that I bought, I didn't get for free, by the way. This used to be $30,000 in clinic only. Like you had to pay to go use it. Similar to infrared sauna. There's all these sauna places. Those are $10,000. Now you can get a sauna blanket for $600. So I think a big part of it is that it's accessible. Yeah. And so now people can afford this preventable way of life. Whereas before it was just kind of not available to most people. And a lot of people still say it's not available to them.
Understood.
I try to do a ton of giveaways for that reason.
Next year will be available in Walmart. These things on scale come down.
What's the pin? What did you say?
PEMF mat.
What is that?
Pulse electromagnetic fields. So with all the electromagnetic fields that we have to deal with, so, we can get into toxic load or we can come back and talk about that, but the body can only handle so much stress. So a lot of times when people think of stress, they're thinking of external things like I got in a fight with my husband or like finances are hard or my job stinks right now, like external, but they're not even thinking about what's built up in their system that's actually stressing out their system without any external factors.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So there's internal stressors and these are like pathogens. So viruses and parasites and bacteria and all of that, so, and EMFs, like the world we live in, we're being blasted by people's Wi-Fi. We are being blasted by glyphosate. Yeah. We are being blasted by these things that we have no control over because we live in a community or whatever. So,
is it a grounding pad? Is that what we're talking about here?
So on its own, it's grounding. Yeah. So without even turning it on, because it has like a million little crystals in it, it's grounding. It's going to match the frequency of Earth. So that's kind of the cool thing about
visitor.
it.
Hi, baby. You okay?
It was Layla, my dog, making a daily appearance in our shows, but now it's going to be. But you understand this as a mom of four kids there, so
I understand it.
So Cara Clark Nutrition, since your last name's Nutrition, because that's how I hear everyone say it. Some of this stuff is just not approachable, right? Yes. Like, do I start with doing peptide shots? Do I start with doing just diet? Like, how do you roll into this lifestyle?
You're totally fine.
That's okay. We'll just continue the conversation. You come on back.
Duolingo.
This is now not the news without Nikki.
Yes.
Okay. So, but seriously, the idea is that getting into some sort of routine is the way to start.
Yeah, and the starting point's always foundations, and foundations is always food, and that's why I haven't changed my business name.
Yeah.
Even though my model's kind of changed because I teach all things wellness and allow people to have different experiences with what I teach, but food is the first start. So starting with food, meaning regulating blood sugar through our food, helping reduce stress through our food, improving detox through our food.
Right.
That is the key component to starting. And I don't think anybody should ever skip that. In fact, when I have somebody asking me, when do I start? How do I start? Whatever, I say, give it 30 to 90 days of my food philosophy. And then, you know what? We might have saved a lot of money by not having to do peptides and not having to do expensive supplements or grounding mats or whatever it is. Just
I'm going to be so interested to hear your take on peptides now that you said that. That's going to be very fascinating there.
I want to hear about all of this from you.
The world thinks of peptides as pharmaceuticals, and that's just not the case. Peptides have been around forever. Right. These are actually a part, our system produces peptides. Right. Our system also produces enzymes, and people are taking enzymes. Because the evolution of the human body's changed. Same with aminos. Like, we produce non-essential amino acids, but most of us aren't producing enough, meaning they're non-essential. We don't have to eat them through food because our body produces them. So the same breakdown has happened with amino acids, peptides, and enzymes. Peptides are supposed to be used as like a rotation tool. You're never supposed to stay on one peptide for a very long time. You're just supposed to activate the system to do what it was meant to do in the first place. And that's a really cool aspect of them. So like when I talk about peptides, I'm thinking of KPV, BPC, 157. These are, in my opinion, the starting point. I don't have a huge issue with GLP-1s when used appropriately.
And that's like Ozempic and the weight loss drugs, right?
So we think of it as pharma, but it's not. Yeah. It's actually very natural. That's not my cue for people to go get a script for Ozempic. In fact, I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of Ozempic. I don't like just a GLP-1. Right. I want just like, hormones. Like, I don't want people to go take something that doesn't match their body. Same with dentistry, for the record.
Right.
I do a bioidentical dentist because I want it to match my teeth. I don't want to put something foreign into my body ever. Yeah. And so peptides are the same thing. You want it to be a composition of what the body's already capable of. Same with hormones. Like, bioidentical hormones is really different than HRT. Yeah. Because you're matching what the body already is capable of. Mm-hmm.
But most people don't understand it the way you do. And most people are going online, or they're just getting it prescribed to them, and they're shooting it themselves or taking it. They don't know what they're doing.
I'd love to see their faces when it comes as a powder form that says for research only.
Right.
They all do, don't they? Don't they all say for research only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have to constitute this yourself.
You have to reconstitute it. Yeah. Like, what does that even mean?
That right.
I'm sure that
you can't take it. So beyond BPC 157, copper, and KPV, you have to reconstitute peptides. It does worry me.
Yeah.
The liver is already burdened and overwhelmed. It doesn't need extra work to do. That's why you have to set the foundations of the body. When you set the foundations of the body, it becomes more capable to use like these high level tools. But there's an order. There's an order that we do things in. And that order, like going back to what you asked, like, why do we start where we start? I have a mentor that says that it starts with a stress, right? We think of stress as losing a job or whatever. Stress can be internal. Stress can be handed down. Stress can be
trauma,
something you were born with.
Yeah.
And then it leads to a breakdown in the nervous system. The breakdown of the nervous system leads to a breakdown in the hormones. Breakdown of the hormones leads to a breakdown in the immune system. You know, when people call me when they have 5 breakdowns in the immune system, and then they want to go out of order. What can I take when I feel this? What can I take when I feel that? No. Let's go back to the stressor.
Yeah.
Let's reset the nervous system. When you are working with a regulated nervous system, is the biggest biohack that you'll ever experience. The body will completely change and start to restore itself to the point where you don't have to waste all this money on the immune system or the hormone health if you can regulate the nervous system. So we go so out of order.
Yeah.
We're like taking this, and this for the nervous system. We're on hormones. And like, why is our nervous system changing? Well, because it's not managing what it was born with.
It's kind of a symptom of our broken healthcare system too, though, right? I mean, that's the way it is for everything.
Right. So we can put a Band-Aid approach or, a Band-Aid on things, or we can do a quick approach when necessary. Or when somebody comes to me, do you want me to help you manage these symptoms, or do you want to heal? And that's up to them, because I don't want them to heal more than they want to heal,
right.
Because that stresses me out.
Mm-hmm. But I never heard it put like in that order, a domino like that one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another like that. That's fascinating, because that does give you a starting point to look at the very beginning when we went down this path. Mm-hmm. I love it. A lot of folks in your field take a lot of heat from people. Mm-hmm. They think you're crazy. They think that you're just absolutely out there peddling witchcraft. And no, I mean, and it's just because we've been trained by a society that is, doctor has the cure for everything society. How do you handle that?
Oh, I just say in Jesus' name.
You're hilarious.
I do love that you lead with faith too.
I do.
And that's a big part of your work.
Yeah, I do. And I tell people too, like, first of all, I don't proclaim that I will help you heal because it's not me, it's God. He gave this to me as my kingdom assignment. So if you have an issue with me, take it up with him. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I'm really good at apologizing, for one thing.
I'm in sales, not management. Yeah. Right? Go ahead. Exactly. So, yeah, okay.
And if it's not for them, it's not for them.
Yeah.
So what I tell people is if you disagree with 10% of what anybody says, that's a good fit. Mm-hmm. If you disagree with more than 10% of what people teach and what they say, move on. That's not your person. Yeah. I'm not for everybody. I'm okay with that. But you're right. It does get woo-woo.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's woo. I think it's back to the basics, right? We've gotten so far from that the basics seem woo-woo.
Right.
In a lot of aspects of society, I think.
Isn't
that crazy?
Yes. Right? I know. Yep. I forget like what people do consider normal because this is my day-to-day.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything you say though, I want to do it all. I'm like, sign me up. Like I want to do it, but it is so overwhelming. And I'm sure our listeners feel that way because you think, oh, I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. What? I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources or the access to do this. What is your best advice for someone who really wants to take control of their health from the inside out?
Yeah. And the best way to start is with food. And we kind of talked about this when you had to go mom.
Yeah.
Go type B mom. But the best place to start is my food philosophy. And my book is accessible for $20. I will send it to you for free if you can't. But starting with women eating that first hour within waking up, that's huge. And combining your macros when you do eat. And I'm talking about all 3 macros. I do love prioritizing protein. Don't get me wrong. Only because I think it's like the least accessible macronutrient. It's harder to get. It's harder to find. It's more expensive.
Right.
But combining, 40 to 50% carbs, 20 to 30% protein, 20 to 30% fat supports the whole system. And so once you start to feel the energy shift from eating this way by supporting your blood sugar, then it makes you want to keep going. There's not like an end date where people do programs and they're like, oh, at 30 days, I'm going to go back to what I do. You don't do that because you feel better. So combining your macros, eating within the hour of waking up, every 4 hours after that, keeping meal sizes consistent. So we're not just grabbing a beef stick. We're having a beef stick and whatever fruits in season and maybe some seeds too. So just supporting the body's calorie needs. And to your point of like, is this affordable or not, is always that trade-off. Like you pay for it now or you pay for it later.
Right.
So I was just talking to my sister actually about non-toxic pans of all things. And
it's real.
Young, but like you pay for it now or you pay for it later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like what's getting into your food. You could be eating the healthiest food ever and have crappy pans that is, has Teflon or sometimes other things in it. And
or plastic cutting board or plastic cutting board.
Well, on that note, what pans do you like actually? So there's something tangible here because because again, there's another field where nothing seems right.
Yeah. Well, cast iron's just the most affordable, easiest. I mean, you have to get used to it because you have to season it.
Good workout.
Do you like caraway? I like caraway.
So caraway is fine. They claim non-toxic, and so does our place. But I think they've also mass-produced, and so we just have to be careful. Okay. I like titanium, but anytime there's ceramic that's colorful, I'm like a little nervous.
Shit.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'd rather just go with like what the metal looked like to start with.
Okay, I love that.
It seems like our health goes in cycles, right? Yeah. So I was looking like 15 years ago, it was the Atkins diet, it was the detox shakes, it was the protein powders and stuff like that. Yeah. And here we are. It's the
food.
High protein.
But it's real food. Like people are really focused on real food, and when they are supplementing powders, like you're saying, these protein powders have really changed since 15 years ago.
Right.
That's a field that's
really
overwhelming.
Good now. Yeah.
What do you use?
I do a lot of Ancient Nutrition.
Okay.
Well, they're a partner of mine, so I'm going to be transparent.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't partner with them if you didn't believe
they're a partner for a reason.
They're a partner for a reason. I like Taylor Dukes. I like Just Ingredients. Flav City. everybody loves Bobby Parrish. I think Flav City's a really weird name, but
well, yeah.
But those are clean. There's just so many more clean proteins on the market than there used to be.
Okay.
If you say Flav City 10 times fast, it comes out as something
Flav
totally
City
different.
Flavs. I feel like a rapper.
Well, I know it sounds like you're saying like Guy Fieri.
We're
like,
at go
to.
We're at the half hour mark, and Cara Clark Nutrition has not noticed the powdered donuts on the table.
Oh, I mean,
are you kidding me?
When I walked in, I thought they were like a decoration.
Are they? Are they decoration?
We just did this because of what you do and what you specialize in. Some wise guy thought, wouldn't it be funny to put powdered donuts in front of you? But even the package on that was misleading on how awful they are for you. That was what I went in the trash and dug it up. I was like, okay, because this will be a topic we talk about. You could even convince yourself that powdered donuts are good by the packaging.
Right.
Oh, that's sad.
Greenwashing at its finest. Greenwashing happens with food all the time. It's like Chick-fil-A. People think, it's the better.
It's Jesus chicken
option. It's Jesus chicken. Closed on Sundays. How bad could it hurt me? Say a prayer.
Right?
Well, speaking of praying before food, I always call out the Christian culture because they serve pizza and we can do better. Like there's so many areas that we can do better, but it's funny, the powdered donuts, I literally saw them first thing.
Okay, I was like,
even though they blend in,
you're like, do these people know what I do? I mean, are they morons?
Yes.
I just thought they were like hard, dried up and decorations.
Well, they will be next week for the next week's guest.
No, they'll last forever. That's the thing.
Yes.
The
shelf life is nuts.
Yep. Are we moving in the right direction though? In all the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. asking for dyes to be taken, color to taken.
Yes.
Are we going in the right direction? Do you think?
I do, 100%. I'm backing all of the changes 100%. But to me, it's not new.
Yeah.
I've gone to a couple Maha things and I'm like, people are just learning this. Like none of that's new to me.
Yeah.
And I've been teaching it for 17 years. 100% going in the right direction because obviously we have a choice of what we eat, but not everybody does.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of communities that we don't see every single day that they don't have that choice.
Sure.
I was going to ask you about that because in my time in TV news covering, I would go to these communities and their grocery store is the dollar store.
Yeah.
And they only have the middle aisle. They don't have the outside aisles. Mm-hmm. They don't have the fresh fruits and vegetables. And even then, how do they get to?
And they don't have the budget too. So they're looking for
what are we doing?
Right. Well, so they rely on the government to help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so if the government actually is helping, I know it takes 2 years for these to actually happen, which is hard, then potentially their lives will change a little bit. Obviously we can do more for them. My brother-in-law grew up in foster care in Cleveland, Ohio, and was adopted at 10. And we always say I wonder what you could have been. He's so successful in his own right. He runs charter schools still in inner city. And, he's done my programs and even done the more aggressive AIP, which is the inflammatory program, realized he had these issues since he was little, was able to resolve them as an adult. And he's like, I just wish anybody had access to this.
Yeah.
If we increase our government spending, I wish it could be for preventative health. But again, adults have to be engaged with it. So it starts with, I know everybody says this is so cliche, it starts with education. So we have to find better ways to reach people on their health.
Yeah.
And I don't know the answers to all that, but we are moving in the right direction. If the government can help the people that have to go to the Dollar General and only shop the middle aisle, that's going to improve.
Yeah. Like maybe community grocery stores or mobile food trucks with just fresh fruit.
Right. I've even seen community gardens.
Love that.
Taking off.
Yeah. Are there influencers that you follow? Who do you look up to in this field? Are there people out there that come to mind that So I'm gonna follow you on Instagram because I love your videos, except the ones shaking. But who else could I follow? Is the Food Babe one, or I
love the Food Babe. Yeah.
Tell me who else I follow.
I
in
love
this
the
field.
Food Babe. I know Vanny personally, and back when she was starting, I felt like it was very mongering, fear mongering. But I do think that we need a dose of good reality. Right. So Real Foodology does a really good job on explaining what ingredients are and why they're added to food. Taylor Dukes is somebody else in my field that I really admire. These people are all teaching real food root cause. Okay. So we're looking at food from, minimally processed, but also foods that have been processed that are better now. Yeah. So that's the advantage our culture has.
Right.
Especially if you can afford these foods. So those are some of my favorite shortlist favorites. Dr. Max Lugare, I think is how you say it. Dr. Will Cole.
I've seen some of his stuff.
So if you want some males to follow too. You know, everybody that shows up for the
I'll be okay with that, Cara. I'm good.
Yes.
I want to ask you about something. You said that you started this business 15 years ago, the week after your wedding.
Yes.
What happened that made you do this the week after your wedding? Most of us are on a health journey before our wedding. You get married and you're like, no, I'm getting real.
Did I say that at my book launch?
I think so.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not something I share very often. So funny story, because, well, I've never shared this on a podcast.
Well, there you go.
About 17 years ago is when I started my business loosely. And when I got married, I was working at a law firm and like doing a job I shouldn't have been doing because I didn't know what I was doing, but I paid well. It obviously wasn't like my passion or my purpose. The type B mom thing is I got pregnant on my honeymoon.
Oh.
So I had full control at that point, right? Like I was pregnant, I was married. My husband had a good job with big potential. So I just dropped it on him one day. I was like, I'm just going to do this full time. Like I had no income at that point when I quit my job. I didn't even tell him I quit my job. I just quit the job.
It's blind faith.
Yeah. But it was like trusting God, like being called. When you are called so deeply to something, you can't help but like take steps towards it every single day. So it probably was a lot of baby steps. When I started, though, I was doing boot camps. Like I was doing the fitness side of things too. So fitness and nutrition, because, 17 years ago, people didn't care about nutrition unless they wanted to lose weight. And coming from athletics, I was a college athlete. Like that wasn't my deep desire. Obviously, I always want to help people maintain a healthy weight, right? But like they only went to nutritionists to lose weight. That's it.
You ate to fuel your body for
athletics. I ate to fuel my body. I ate for performance. I ate for energy. All of the, the very much performative nutrition approach.
You were ahead of your time.
Way.
Yeah.
My sister was like, these guys that were selling me the pans were like 5 colors a day. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm the first one who ever said that.
Yeah.
A long time ago. Like I never heard it from anybody else. I just started saying it.
You really didn't have a social media to put anything out on either. You were just.
But so I started teaching to sororities. Why? Because I was facing disordered eating myself. Yeah. And so I went to the same market that I was struggling in, taught to them, helped myself heal in the same, people always say, how do you find your niche? Well, what are you being called to? What are you struggling with? I think sometimes people think they have to beat their struggle in order to start, but you don't. It's part of the healing.
Oh, I love that. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So thankfully my husband was very loyal to the marriage.
So you faced disorder
you got him
eating.
early on, right? Honey, I think I'm going to start another career.
Gosh. Yes, that was nuts. It was a happy father. We got married in May. Happy Father's Day in June.
That's
But
fantastic.
you touched on this. Can you expand on your disordered eating that you faced?
Yeah. So after college, I played for 4 years of college basketball. So when you play college athletics, the thing nobody tells you about, these days they probably have sports therapists. They didn't have much of that those days. And if they did, it was to help you get in the zone to play, not to like know who you are afterwards. So a huge identity crisis.
It's so true.
A lot of my teammates just like blew up, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like,
well, you stopped the daily exercise. You stopped the intenseness.
Can't eat the same way. Yeah. I did the opposite. I started just like running. So it was more like an orthorexia. I worked out so much. I had no purpose in my workouts. I wasn't training for anything. And I was moving to California from Oklahoma. So when West Coast is calling your name, you want to look a certain way. Yeah. And so I was doing it all to look a certain way.
So it was the aesthetic thing.
What was driving it was the wrong source.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was never going to look good enough because I wasn't paying attention to how I feel. And then I've always been really prayerful and really faith forward. So when I went to a spiritual advisor, and he was a Christian spiritual advisor, and he was like, yeah, if you just kept a prayer log as good as your food log, you'd be a saint. And that snapped me out of it. That and being pregnant. So between that and the pregnancy, I was able to like really turn how I focused on food, and not as like a behavior to control the way I look, but to control the way I felt. So the disordered eating was never formally diagnosed. I don't go to doctors. I did when I was pregnant. Obviously, I have a really hard time with doctors, and full transparency. My brother died when I was 16.
Oh, yeah.
And it felt to me like it was at the hands. Oh, and so gosh. I just always have had like issues, and so anyway, never diagnosed. So I want to be fully transparent in that too, but it definitely was an eating disorder.
Oh my gosh.
I was very minimal in calories, overworking out, had zero energy. My hair wasn't lush. My skin wasn't lush, all the things.
But you recognized that and you took action, which is remarkable.
Right. And then I was able to take these sorority girls that were obviously struggling with body image, walk them through the grocery store, teach them how to read food labels, teach them how to read through that greenwashing, because it was even worse than it is now. And teach them how to combine macros, not just protein, carbs, fat, because then people are like, they don't ask anymore. They're afraid to ask because they think they should know.
Right.
But I always want to be a source for people that like, you can ask the very basic questions.
Yeah. I mean, I only learned what macros were, like, honestly, this year.
Yeah.
That's a type of font, right?
Yes. Yes.
No, it's
yes.
different.
Probably.
Something like that.
There's so many fonts.
It's very overwhelming, back to what we were saying. And,
Yes.
and it's hard to know where to start. But
Well,
I
the
think
starting
you're
point
so,
is following something.
Yes, yes. But I think
Following
you're
a
so
guide.
good about that, about just making it seem very approachable and taking it back to the basics, which is food.
Yes.
Yeah, finding your revolving door and entering and just getting in there.
Right, because people think it's exercise still. People can't get it out of their heads that like, if I just do this exercise, then I'll look a certain way.
And I can eat anything.
And then I can eat whatever. Yeah.
Or I can inject myself and I can eat anything.
Exactly.
And,
But
yeah.
even if you're injecting, you have to have the food dialed in.
Yeah.
Or the body is going to overreact when you're not injecting. And then with exercise, like a lot of people don't feel good enough to do what they're doing. And so then they're wearing out their adrenal system. Again, going back to the nervous system. If your exercise is not working for you, then it needs to change. So sometimes going back to the food foundations will help influence how your body builds muscle, how your body uses the exercise for energy. So if you're feeling like headache or worse after you work out, not the right exercise.
Wow.
We
Because
can't
a lot of
force
people,
ourselves.
well, a lot of people might say, oh, I just worked out really hard. I'm dehydrated. But you're saying that's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the whole trend now is like do weights and muscles and bodybuilding as opposed to doing these massive long
Cardio.
runs and stuff.
Right. Which I kind of don't mind that.
Right.
I mean, everybody should be walking, but I will turn down endurance athletes.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
'Cause I
No.
can't
Our girl
work with
Pamela
them.
preaches that.
Yes, yes.
Love her. Shout out to Pamela.
Uh-huh. Love you, Pam.
We love you.
This theme keeps bubbling out about overall emotional wellness and everything else you do in your life regarding your exercise and your diet and
Yeah.
everything like that. It's almost like one causes the other, causes the other,
Exactly,
causes
the
the other.
trickle
We
effect.
emotionally eat, and then that throws off our emotions even more, and we get into this toilet bowl spin.
Well, and wait till you hear this fact. One bad night of sleep can throw off your hormones.
One bad night of
One
sleep.
bad night of sleep. So when you feel like you're extra hungry after being out late or having just a bad night of sleep, then, you know, it's that downward spiral. So sleep's number one, but in order to achieve number one, you have to do number two and number three.
Yeah.
I'm a lot of fun.
We haven't even gotten, that was the first
lot
time
of
sleep
fun.
came up.
Yeah, and you know how much that resonates with us as
Yeah.
two people who woke up at 2:30 in the morning for
Yeah.
years.
I was going to say one day in a row. How about 30 years in a row?
And I'm
I
finally
know.
Right.
feeling like I'm
And
actually.
I would have told you guys.
Yeah.
I would have. Like
Yeah.
night nurses, I tell you, like, you can't live this way forever. And you might be the ones who need, you know, certain medications or hormone support. in
Yeah,
that
you don't know
case.
how it's affecting you until you actually do start getting
Right.
good night's sleep. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay.
Well, because it
Wow.
becomes our norm.
Yeah.
And then we measure things based on our norm, not what optimal is.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your book because it is
Okay.
so beautiful and it's so good. And I went to the
you.
launch party.
We'd show you a cover, but Nikki didn't bring
Forgot.
hers.
Okay,
And I
everything is
forgot.
in storage right now. Okay,
Oh, that's
Everything
right.
is-
That's right. That's
right.
right.
We move
Your-
in
your
like
life
10
is in,
days.
you're in
So excited.
transition.
So everything's in storage, but it will be on display in my new
Yes.
house, and it
Yes.
is beautiful. And Neil,
to see.
I'm sad that you didn't get to go to this book launch party because the food was incredible.
Hold on a second. Where's my invite here?
Yeah, yeah.
Women only.
no.
I am such a picky
Nope,
eater.
nope,
and
nope,
and this has
nope.
been a really hard thing for me. And you'll ask my husband, like, this is my number one thing. Like, I'll work out like crazy. I'll do all these things, but food is such a problem for me. I have always
Is
said
it
this.
texture?
Texture, yes. I'm a vegetarian, and I'm lazy when it comes to food. Quite frankly, if I could hook up myself to an IV right now and get the
Yeah.
nutrition I needed, I would never eat. I would be fine.
Right.
I know that's very problematic, and I apologize if that's triggering for someone, but I feel like a lot of women
I
feel
think
like
she
that.
can handle it. I
Yeah.
feel
I
I
feel
feel
like
a
the people
mom of
listening-
4 kids married to a 6'6" guy could probably
Not
handle
talking
anything you
about
throw at her.
Cara.
She's talking about listeners.
Yes.
No, I'm just
That
kidding.
was
I'm
really
kidding.
empathetic and thoughtful of you.
But
to-
you, I
No,
feel like
that's
you probably
true.
hear that a lot. Most women are like that. I don't have time to eat. We're eating our
Yes.
kids' leftover chicken nuggets, or we're not eating because we're too tired and we go to bed.
Yes.
Right?
Right. So there's so many things that can be on the go, but you have to work within your own frame. Mm-hmm. So like you can't do what I do or what Pam does. Let's just keep talking about Pam.
She's an angel.
We love her so much. She's so fun. She's really good at hosting.
We're going to get her on the pod.
Yeah, get her on the pod. Anyway, so you have to eat with what works for you. Obviously following the timing, following the macros, but keep it simple. Mm-hmm. So like if you're do you like avocado or is it, so like an avocado toast type of person, add some seeds. So you're getting extra protein. It's like,
what kind of bread do you use with that?
I make my sourdough.
I do too.
What a question.
Are you proud of me?
Yes, I am really proud.
Fascinating.
No, that's cool. Sourdough has 7 grams of protein too. It's like sourdough. Yeah. Okay. So people like undervalue non-meat protein.
Carbs.
Oh, what's your blood type though? Because there are certain blood types that do better with vegetarian
you just
than
keep throwing
others.
stuff out that makes me want to go different rabbit holes with all this stuff, Cara. This is too much. I'm
How much
overwhelmed.
time do we have?
My nervous system's flooded.
No,
no, go ahead.
We're going to end it with some breath.
No,
our blood type dictates what we should be eating?
There's in some theories. In some theories it does. And I never follow this to a T, but when it comes to vegan and vegetarian, type A blood type does fit that better.
I don't remember. I should know that, but
there's possibility that you may start gobbling down cows. I mean,
if you're a B or no,
right?
Can't.
What are shortcuts?
Can we not call it cows?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're pushing me.
I struggled with that too. So when I was
really
struggling with meat, you tried vegetarian and I gained 20 pounds.
Yeah, it's a problem for a lot of vegetarians with carb load.
Yes. And it wasn't even carb. Like it just did not, I needed the meat. I need red meat. Mm-hmm. Like I don't do well with poultry. I do okay with turkey, but not chicken.
Yeah, right. Same.
Well, I gave up soda and started drinking sweet tea and then realized sweet tea is just as bad as soda.
Yeah.
It's just as bad.
Sugar-wise,
Sugar-wise, absolutely. But are there shortcuts you can do? Do you meal prep? Do you do different things like that just to make
That's what I would teach. Obviously, like I'm 17 years in it. I have followed macros for 17 years.
Right. So you have a chef upstairs, a chef downstairs. We understand. You don't shop yourself.
That's why she had 4 children. The children do the cooking, right?
Do. Yeah. One of my kids makes hot honey chicken. So I say I don't like chicken, but she does. So I have one kid that is in charge of a dinner. So like it's starting to work that way a little bit.
What a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. No, give them their signature dish.
Signature dish. That's what we're going to do this week. Everyone has to make something. So like going back to like overnight oats in the morning. What protein could you add to that to make it more sustainable? And then what colors could you add to that? Well, right now peaches are in season. Bananas are always easy. And I have 3 overnight oat recipes in the book. Okay. So then following that up with, a power bowl. So my favorite power bowl is like a quinoa bowl, pumpkin seeds, and then whatever fresh colors that I can find in my house, cucumbers, tomatoes, whatever. And then a chickpea or another legume. So then you're getting 20 grams of vegetarian protein. Did you know that quinoa is a complete protein? It's the only non-meat. That's a complete protein.
Fascinating.
I can do all of those. All of those things sound good to me.
And then a smoothie in the afternoon, obviously like my type of recipe where it's got the balance, the macro balance that you need.
Your smoothie recipes are next level.
Thank you.
They're incredible.
That's because they're so sustainable.
I can't believe you guys been friends and this is the first time you're actually putting this all together. Nikki,
this is her
get
job.
Your act together.
And I need
get some of that quinoa stuff, quinoa, do stuff, whatever it is.
Don't eat anything you can't pronounce except quinoa.
Okay, I love that. That's great. And
then dinners, like make them last. So like my thing with dinner is I have 6 people to feed in big mouths. Like they can eat a lot because they're all training in sports. They out eat my husband, by the way.
Love that.
But I do double every recipe I ever make. There's no way I'm just doing one serving of a recipe. So that could be lunch the next day, or that could just be dinner the next day. Or like if there is a meal, like a taco meal or whatever, extra meat goes into quesadillas. So like you can recreate the meals just based on the food you have. But as far as like meal prep goes, I don't do a ton, but my fridge and freezer and pantry are stocked all the time with the same foods.
I got you.
So I can make 5 meals like that, like without even having to plan ahead. But when you're starting out, I think you start by, this is what I recommend to everybody, 5 different dinners in the week, double those dinners, and keep the breakfast, lunch, and snack the same.
Breakfast,
unless you're doing leftovers for lunch. That way you're only thinking
about...
about...
And you're a type B mom?
What?
We started, you're a type B mom?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm telling people that are type A.
No, this is fascinating, actually.
My best like characteristic or quality is that I'm I know people. So like type B moms just need the ingredients. Type A moms need a list.
Yeah.
I have lists. I have programs. You name it, I have it.
I love it. It's easier you make it, the easier the better.
That's the starting point though, is like you're only making new dinners.
And that's a really low barrier entry point
Yeah.
that people can do. And I said I want to talk about your book, and then we took a left turn. But that's one of the things I love about your book is that these recipes are in there and they're easy. I don't want to say easy. They're attainable.
Yes.
People can figure out you don't need to be a chef to do it.
Actually, I got the nicest remark ever on the book. I wish she would go leave the review, but she's like, I am a chef and I've never used a cookbook religiously until yours.
Wow.
And Stacy said the same thing. She's like, look at my stock of cookbooks. Her too. I know. And I like, that's the biggest compliment.
Those are restaurant people right there, right? That's amazing, actually.
I know.
What do you do?
Flattered.
What do you do?
Is that how they feel? They're like measuring it. Obviously, the food tastes good when you're eating real food and you know how to combine it. But when you feel really good after you eat something that tastes decent,
right,
it changes everything.
Yeah. I just want to sit here and keep peppering questions at you. Like,
No.
when you're traveling, that throws everything off. You're usually at a resort if lucky, and you don't have access to this stuff. What do you do?
Lucky, I have soccer players. We are not at resorts.
No. All right, so you're at the Holiday Inn.
We deal with the mini fridge at the Holiday Inn and bring a cooler. So we bring coolers everywhere we go. I'm always focusing on macros, and then the food places that we do eat out at are that you can find everywhere. Like the Panera options. Panera has no artificial flavors. Obviously, they have other things that are iffy, but so it's not perfect. Cava, not perfect. Core Life. These are options, Chipotle even. So we're leaning into the options that we do have. I always try to find a Whole Foods, at least like, a grocery store if we need to go get food. Hard-boiled eggs are really easy to put in the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
For, the kids' breakfast. So our overnight oats, you can use the water from the crappy coffee makers, make oats. So those are two things. Apples and oranges you can get all year long. String cheeses are easy protein. So yeah, lots of fruit and lots of protein. So those are our primary focuses when we're traveling. Is managing the carbs.
I always get so thrown off. I'm doing like good. I'm doing great. Then I go on 10-day vacation, 3-day vacation, and throw it all out the window. And then I come back and I'm right back into the crap.
Yes. So, and it's a hard cycle to break too. For me, and like the way I would love for other people to see it is because you feel so good, like the indulgences just change. Yeah. You can still have chocolate, but maybe in an energy bite, or maybe like chocolate covered nuts, or, if you're having a dessert, share it with the whole table. Yeah. Not naming names.
I love that. Share with the whole table.
Yeah. Like just have a couple bites. You're not really still hungry.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
I have friends that won't share even a bite of dessert with me.
What?
Yes.
So rude.
I know, it's rude.
Yeah.
It's like that's Cara over there. Don't be. She's really crazy about her food. Don't really? Deal with it. Don't. No. You mentioned nuts. Are there good nuts, bad nuts, as far as what you find on the shelf at the store?
Oh yeah, I thought I was going to say like for people, it's bio-individual. Not everybody does great with almonds, and everybody thinks they do great with almonds, but almonds are high in oxalates. I know, another tangent.
No, now I need to know about, am I good for almonds?
I know.
This is right.
Yeah, I would definitely mix it up and never do the same. I really primarily focus on seeds. Seeds are more bioavailable. They're easier to break down because they're smaller.
What are your favorite seeds?
I love sunflower and pumpkin seeds.
Okay. Chia too?
Yes, of course. But obviously you're not going to munch on chia. No. No.
I love pumpkin seeds.
Yes, pumpkin seeds are also anti-parasitic.
Oh.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, that was
we just
another
had a full moon.
I wanted to ask about the parasite cleanses that you do.
Not a starting point.
No, not a starting point. But everybody thinks like, you watch on a video on Instagram, you're like, they describe these symptoms. You're like, oh, I have a parasite. Yeah. And I'm going to do a parasite cleanse. But that's not always the case.
That's got to make you cringe.
You never have a parasite.
Really? Okay.
It's kind of like if you have an exterminator come over for mice. They're like, yeah, if there's one, there's 50.
Yep.
Oh, so okay. True. That's scary.
Yep.
Yeah. So how do we know if we have a parasite and what do we do?
I mean, it's just assume you do.
Everyone has one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it's still not the starting point. It can be super inflammatory if you try to make it a starting point. Don't ever do a parasite cleanse for weight loss. Like that's just not how it evens out. When you're killing something off in your body that's created some sort of homeostasis, meaning like your body's gotten used to it being there.
Yeah. Right.
Then the die-off is alarming to the body. We have to create a new ecosystem. So it's inflammatory, exhausting, a lot of these things. So like symptoms of parasites are also symptoms of other things, you know? So we just got to be careful.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to like understand root causes and do foundations for a very long time before diving into any detox.
Yeah.
Don't start your new year with a detox unless it's real food.
No, I bet that kills you, right? When you see people do that. Yeah.
How do you fit all this information in your brain? I mean,
Yeah,
do you ever
for
listen
real.
to yourself and
the
be
only
like,
thing I
how
know.
do I know all this stuff? It's
actually,
really fascinating.
Honestly, I was like the student that only ever took advanced science classes. Only. I did all the science fairs. I always excelled in science, and I was always very frustrated. I always wanted to know more about the body. They don't teach about the body. They teach you about plants. They teach you about animals. They teach you about ecosystems. They teach you about electricity and weather and light, but they don't teach you about body. Like there's so much physics to be known about the body, and like the light therapies and the pumps, that's all physics.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do I don't know anything about anything else. I rely on my husband
That's
for
hilarious.
that.
Well, they don't teach that, and they don't teach money to kids too.
no,
right?
economics, period.
Yeah.
Like home economics.
Yeah. How to balance a checkbook.
economics. Yes.
Do we have checkbooks anymore? Do people still?
I mean,
Yeah, I
nobody
always get
balances
behind that
them.
person at the store. I get behind the one person who has a checkbook in Nashville every time I go. It's like, oh, hold on, it's like,
You're like, can I just pay for you?
who should I make this out to?
Yeah.
Anyway, your grocery bill must be through the roof with
It is
4
actually,
kids and
we just had a
6 of you.
budgeting meeting. That's what made me cry. Just kidding. It's not my grocery
Money
bill, but,
always
like,
makes me.
I don't
yeah.
ever want to talk about budget.
Same.
I don't ever want to talk about money. I think that might be a girl thing. I don't know.
I just hate it. It stresses me out.
It stresses
Same
me
way
out so
food.
much.
Food and money are just like my two things.
Well, let me help you make food less stressful.
I would love that.
I will never help you make money less stressful.
I can't help you with that
My
either.
husband's a financial planner too, so
Oh,
I feel like I
perfect.
shouldn't have to think about
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, my grocery bill is pretty high. But we don't like spend excess on other things besides like travel sports.
Yeah.
And the Holiday Inn.
The important stuff.
Yeah.
Where can people get your book?
Anywhere they buy books. Yeah. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, I think even Walmart. I don't know. There's a whole long list.
What's
I
the
love when they
title
find
of it?
in
Nikki
store.
didn't bring hers.
Oh, sorry.
Feel Good Way.
Feel Good
It
Way.
was the Feel Good Kitchen, simple recipes for a better life, but that was already taken.
Yeah.
So we changed it to Feel Good Way. Now they're saying, well, then you got to do a Feel Good Way lifestyle book too. I haven't signed any contract.
Okay. So we are going to have another book
I don't
coming
know.
up?
I don't know.
You need
I feel
it.
like I'm
We
getting
need it.
too old for this.
No, you're not.
That's hilarious.
No, you're not. So I'm encouraging everyone
I'm
to go
nearing
out.
retirement.
Stop it. Get this book and follow her on Instagram because I follow so many people and I'm like, they talk a lot of talk, but there's nothing tangible that I take away from it.
It's Cara with a C,
Yeah.
Clark with a C,
You-
and then
you bring that
nutrition.
up.
Cara Clark
With
Nutrition.
an N.
With an N, right.
Yes.
And that's
My
her real
last
last
name.
name, Nutrition. Mrs. Nutrition, it's been nice to have you with us. No.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Any like last minute questions? Any burning
Yeah, a
things
lot.
you want to know?
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
could have you. So we've done this for 57 minutes.
Wait, let me
right
look
now.
at my notes. I did like have a bunch of notes and I think I
Well, can someone who looks thin in the mirror be inflamed inside?
Yes. So remember how I talked about body types?
Yeah.
A Vata body type is invisibly inflamed.
Okay.
Whereas Pitta and a Kapha, those are the two other body types, their inflammation is visible.
Is the inflammation the end result of that domino chain that you put together? Is that really where?
Immune system brings out inflammation for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Most people are dealing with some level of inflammation. Inflammation at its core isn't a bad thing. It's helping our body heal from injury. It's protection. But what happens is when our body is like overprotective and it continues to grow and grow and grow, we got to get our body back to a safe place so that the inflammation can go away.
Yeah.
And the body can restore.
Okay.
But it's never completely gone.
Right.
It's like when you do a hard workout, you're micro injuring your muscles, sometimes even tearing.
Sure.
There's going to be a little inflammation. So when I have somebody that's, die hard on their 5 workouts a week with weights, I'm like, if you give yourself 2 weeks off, I know this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done, but your body can reset and the inflammation will maybe go away on its own because it doesn't have to be so protective all the time.
Well, I found another question.
Please do. We're good.
Going through my notes.
This is podcast world, Nikki.
I love it.
Go.
Yes.
Because
nobody's cueing you.
We don't
We
don't have a break.
Right. We have had a fly that's been the entire time buzzing around here, and I'm like, this is like being at the old place.
It's the donuts. I think
it's the donuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they won't even go near them.
Even the fly won't land on the donuts.
I need you to fire away with this question because now I'm curious.
Well, you talked a little bit about this, about sun being good for you. Mm-hmm. So many of us are afraid of the sun. We wear all the sunscreen, the hats, but talk about your stance on that.
I think we can build the amount of sun that we can consume by increasing certain levels in our body. So the best way to boost vitamin D, which by the way, there's multiple metabolic pathways for vitamin D. And so when somebody comes back to me and says my vitamin D is low, my not automatic answer is to add more vitamin D. But let's try the sun first. Let's try that morning sun, that noon sun. So when I write a protocol for somebody, I'm actually having them eat lunch out in the sun.
Is it D3 specifically?
Yeah, D3 specifically.
D3.
Mm-hmm.
I love being out. I love eating outside.
And the body will be able to develop more melanin based on the antioxidants that you're eating. Natural sunscreen. I noticed especially in the summer, and my kids did not get my complexion. They're all like white girls. And so I have been cautious with it. We go north for the summer, so I don't have to be as cautious, but none of them burn.
What is your thought on melanotan? That's
melatonin?
It's the peptide that you shoot. I think it's called melanotan. That you take it and then you go in the sun without sunglasses, so your eyes can see the full light spectrum. And they say that conditions your skin so you don't burn.
It can, but there's a lot of foods that we can use for that too.
So that was what?
Medium chain fatty acids.
I thought you knew everything.
I love that.
You're amazing. I can't and I threw one thing out.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, first of all, I probably said it wrong.
Yeah.
So it's probably some totally different name.
Yeah, I know. We all say scientific things our own way. And
we're not scientists.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I had one more that wanted to. Give us your favorite smoothie recipe.
My usual go-to is more like a chocolate shake.
Ooh.
It's because the whole family will eat that.
Yes.
Because I actually prefer the Hawaiian cake smoothie in the cookbook. Is my absolute favorite.
I haven't done that one.
Okay. Is that the one with banana?
It's very
in
rich. It has banana, pineapple, only a little bit of banana because it has pineapple. We won't talk about glycemic, but
understood.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
No, on your Instagram feed, I was like, how long have I been going through this thing? It's like, this is all
That's
awesome.
the thing. She's so knowledgeable. She gives actual tangible things. She's not just
so the chocolate shake from my smoothie book is my favorite because the whole family wants it every single time.
All right. And get my kid to eat it instead of just butter noodles.
And honestly, for smoothies, I like to eat them with spoons, not straws. So if the amount of liquid is low, that's because it's just the way I like it. But you can always add more liquid.
That sorbet thing you posted the other day,
so good.
It looks so good.
Did you try the smoothie at the event?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was my favorite thing there.
Yes.
It was delicious.
The one, I'm sorry I couldn't make that. I just didn't see the invite. Hey, I have a question because you brought up pregnancy, and do expectant moms need to start changing? Like, say they're doing everything just as you prescribe, right? In an ideal world, do they need to change that based on being pregnant?
The intuitive nature of that is they would eat more.
Yeah.
Especially at certain times of the day, they may need more carbs. They may need more fiber to help sustain them a little bit better. But the way I teach is perfectly safe for pregnancy and nursing. In fact, I recommend it if you want to support the body. But not a lot of changes need.
Okay. Just volume, amount, just and pay more closer attention to that.
And when you're combining carbs, you're never going to eat double, or not combining carbs, combining macros, you're never going to eat double of what you're eating. You can't, your body can't handle that much food at once. It's just when you're eliminating the protein and the fat. So the hard part with pregnancy, in my experience, is the food aversions.
Yeah,
and protein was kind of one of those hard things for me. So I had to get really, creative in the way that I was incorporating protein because the powders weren't good then.
I was 100% the same way. In fact, I used to eat a little bit of meat, and I would eat chicken when I was pregnant with Andy.
is when
my husband was making chicken for me one night, and I smelled it, and I had to go and throw up, and I haven't touched it since then. Yes. And I do the same thing now. I cannot even.
Yeah, chicken really grosses me out, and I think it probably was pregnancy.
Yeah.
That did me in.
That's so interesting. It makes me feel better that you do that too.
Yeah. It's so many food aversions. The one thing I always wanted was, which I would never buy because I always just make them, but like a veggie platter with ranch dip. Like that was what I always wanted.
Well, at least it's a healthy.
It was, but like.
Well, sometimes the ranch dip can be a little ranchy.
Yeah. I love some good ranch dip.
I know. You are a Southern girl.
Oh, yeah.
Ranch goes with everything. It's ketchup.
The ranch
Amen.
dip.
I put some in my coffee this morning.
Jesus chicken right on in it.
Did you?
That is amazing.
It looks like your creamer.
Oh my gosh, that would be so gross.
Do you put that stuff, collagen stuff, in your coffee in the morning?
Yeah, I put collagen, and I do actually a powder now that's got my fat soluble vitamins and N-acetyl to help manage blood sugar throughout the day, because that does get a little harder in your 40s.
Did you say MCT oil?
I do. So this has MCT oil in it. Mm-hmm. So it's got MCT oil derived as coconut, so it's powder. And then A, D, K, and E, and N-acetyl. So that's what I start my day with in my coffee.
Yeah.
You put it in your coffee, not in the smoothie.
Right.
Oh.
I know. So even though I say no coffee on an empty stomach, if you scrolled far enough, people get so mad at me on that one. But the hack is to have the powder that I have, 2 Brazil nuts. So Brazil nuts help to support a healthy thyroid.
Oh, okay. I need to be doing those.
Is there ever going to be a world where all of us have this information that you have shoved in that brain?
Yes, if you join my membership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have memberships?
I have
that's
a membership,
right. Okay,
and we do 2 calls a month. And
you talk to them personally, too.
We do new member orientation.
I saw that. I did see that.
Yeah, so I actually only take clients out of my membership because I want them to have a foundation where they're not just paying me to teach them the foundation.
And you don't have an app yet?
No.
Okay. And you don't have your own podcast yet?
My portal is like an app, but it's you pull it up on your desktop and you can add it on your home screen like an app, but it's not an app. I don't have my own podcast. I don't feel called to that.
Yeah. But I feel like you have so many different directions. You have a lot of directions. You have a lot of directions that you could go, and you just have to kind of figure out which one you're being called.
Maybe that'll be my retirement job.
I mean, you said it earlier that you were called to do this, and it shines through because when you speak about it, I listen, I want more, I absorb it all, because you just have this way about you that's just so beautiful and so kind and not
that's very nice.
What's the word? Not
well, let's talk about absorption.
Yeah.
It's not it doesn't make me
feel
it is,
like sometimes it
I
is,
would never
right?
do it.
Yeah.
I agree. I look at people and I'm like, even I couldn't ever
like
do
that's
that.
I'm not even going to talk to them.
If I even tell people about reconstituting peptides, and some people have their own fridges, like I've lost 75% of the audience.
Yeah.
But if I tell people like combine, macro meal or just follow my cookbook for a simple recipe, they can do that. Or, we didn't even touch on water, but like maybe your starting point, because your starting point can't be to get better sleep. That comes from the lifestyle habits that you do. But water could help with that, because water helps to regulate your kidneys. And then, biohack for that is adding electrolytes or creating an electrolyte drink so that every ounce of water is getting into your cell. You guys ever chugged water because you were so like thirsty and then you just felt it in your stomach? That's not getting into your cell. So biohack that with putting salt on your tongue.
Salt?
Yeah. Like last week I was at pickleball and they're like, you need a drink of water, because I was working my tail off because I always work my hardest. And I was like, I can't get a drink. My water doesn't even have salt in it. Like I don't have any electrolytes, so there's no point. So it's just going to sit in my stomach. Then I'm going to be heavy, and then I won't be able to save that ball.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Pickleball's a rugged sport.
Yeah.
Yes, baby.
How much water should you drink a day? If you're properly be absorbing it, how much?
Half your body weight in ounces.
Okay.
So it's different for everybody.
And just put salt on your tongue.
Salt on your tongue or salt in the water. That's like the basic hack. I have like an adrenal drink for people that their kidneys or adrenals are struggling, or they feel like they're never really hydrated, or they're peeing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if I'm beating a path back and forth from my bed to the bathroom all night long, it means I'm not absorbing it.
Sleeping.
Yeah. Okay. Is that at night while you're falling asleep?
Well, like I can tell, like I played golf the other day and I must have had 18 bottles of water, and I still didn't go to the bathroom for almost 2 days because I knew I was absorbing it all. But I have had times where I will during the day, and then I'm just back and forth.
Yeah. So add some electrolytes.
Okay. See, this is all fast. This is all practical
and,
stuff.
You know, something most of us have in our cupboard and we never use is cream of tartar. We use it for baking Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
That's high in potassium.
Okay. Well, Andy's telling us this is over.
Yeah,
this
she
is over. Sorry, guys. We're
Kara,
done.
this is incredible.
We just want to bring you back and do singular topics after this because you really
can
can mine into this stuff.
We would love that.
Well, I would love to do that. I would love just love to, like, when you discover something.
Yeah, just call me.
Yeah, we schedule it.
Like, okay, Kara's coming back.
Yeah.
We're gonna have plenty of room and plenty of different ways to get you in there.
Could help a broader audience.
Yeah.
Andy, give us 1 second. We're wrapping up. Okay. Kara, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
That was really great. Thanks.
Soon.
Yes, absolutely.